Welcome to my very first recording. I am playing Project Hospital. My experience with this game has been 3 days, so not very long, and I was figuring my way around it. I'm hoping to record this, show you around my current status of the hospital, and you guys can follow along with my Project Hospital journey. Okay, so uh, I have my hospital here, and I actually started building a new hospital up on the top. But I really originally started down here as the very beginning of my hospital journey, and over here on this side, which is now like a clear desk, was my very first emergency clinic doctor's office. So in the red here, I had uh, one office, two office, and three offices, but now I have moved all the clinics up to the new building because I want to revamp this to be more of the emergency ward and operating rooms. So before I used to have the emergency clinics down here, a few offices with a waiting room, and then I had my x-rays and medical laboratories up in the center, and also my surgical clinics up here, and I started building out my surgical wards with the surgery operating room, diagnostic, and sonogram, I think this is the room, with my wards horizontal. But now I have made a few changes as I plan to redesign my hospital now that I understand a little bit more of this game and what's required of each of the departments. So you can see I only have the internal medicine clinic up and running, so I don't have hospitalization yet for internal medicine. I do have hospitalization for surgery and also a small ICU unit, and I don't have all the radiology rooms. So let's go to my new hospital, which I have here. So first, I learned every department requires a reception, so I actually put all the receptionists down in this main room, and then everybody can wait in this waiting room here. To the left side, I formalized a little bit of how all the offices work, and I found a hack in that I was able to put two doctors into one room. It saves me some money. You only need one set of, say, like a lamp, biohazards, garbage, equipment cabinet, etc., for two doctors. So it saves me some kind of money there because that's what I'm all about. I want to earn money with my hospital. If you want to think about it as patient care, there's really no privacy when you're talking to the doctors about your son's health, but do I care about that? Not at this moment currently. So I do have currently four spots for emergency clinics, and they are encompassing two rooms. So they are kind of L-shaped rooms, and in the middle it's either waiting room on this side with some vending machines and water, or on the other side is actually a bathroom. And across from it, so my goal is, I can keep building out the clinics to the sides horizontally, and then across the hallway will be the laboratories that will be required by all units. So what I have here are the medical laboratories, and I also placed, two or more technicians in one room. At one point, I was really backlogged with tests that was clogging up my wards. So I added in more technologists in here. And again, it follows the same layout. There's like a small middle room. So here, this is actually a common room for the staff with the kitchen and kitchen table and coffee maker. And again, the laboratories are also L-shaped rooms. So my thinking is, if in the future I expand, I can replace these rooms with more clinics, and I can move these rooms upstairs. I was thinking maybe have a whole floor of just medical and radiology labs, but I think that's for the future. So across the hallway, I planned out that I'm gonna have an elevator for later expansion, so I can have multiple floors. And I have a big bathroom. At one point, everybody was very unhappy because I basically only had like 2 stalls of washroom for this big hospital, and people had to wait in line, and was not feeling the best in terms of hospital environment. So then I'm like, hey, fine, I'll give you more toilets. Here's 4 for you. And of course, we're kind of budget friendly here. There are no bathroom stalls. Again, no privacy. I should rename my hospital No Privacy Hospital. 4 toilets, 4 sinks. Okay, on the other side, so I have a janitorial staff room, and you can see we're still not the cleanest here. I try my best. For a while, there's just dirty floors everywhere again, so I really try to up my janitorial game by adding a few more rooms here and there. And so here I built out another laboratory for one of the medical clinics. I didn't finish on the other side because currently I don't need any more clinic rooms, doctor's offices, or laboratories. So, but I'm leaving this space planned out for future clinics. Again, it's in the L shape with something in the middle. And on the side, I have just 2 small clinics with 2 doctors. Actually, I also didn't fill up on my night shift, so I think it's one for the morning, one for the night right now. One is the surgical unit. I put it in blue for them, and then I have the internal medicine clinic, and I don't think I have anyone for night right now. But they also follow the same format. The walls are kind of weird because so the walls are, and here I had like extra space for the corridor that was gonna build later on. So here I have the 2 small clinics, and the idea is again I can keep expanding outward. So all the clinics look the same. Now across the hallway, so what you can do is like this is the hallway, and then people are supposed to be able to walk around these offices to this other side of the hallway, which hosts all my radiology labs. I only really have 2 right now, and I made the X-ray room kind of big because I want to put more X-ray machines here later on once I need more. So I have an X-ray room here, and I think this is the cardiology room here. And so I definitely want to, save out the space for future like MRI machines, CT scan, but currently those are just so expensive. I don't really need it. The cost benefit is not that worth it for me to have those 2 clinics. There are maybe only 1 or 2 instances where I had to send a patient away because they couldn't do more tests, or like I just diagnosed them with their symptoms, and like so they don't have to do CT scans and tests. And I connected everybody, the 2 sections of the hospital right now, with this long corridor. Very boring. There are also no windows, in my hospital right now. Like from the outside, it's just all just bricks. And the reason is because I haven't fully expanded everything, and I realized, I guess maybe I didn't figure out how yet, but when I tear down a wall or a window, it doesn't give the money back. But like to me, there's no point in spending money on these walls yet if I don't know, like I might just take them down, and if I keep expanding, that's not the ultimate outside of the hospital, so no point in wasting that kind of money and putting windows in. That is the very economical me. We didn't say, we're all about like saving patients, not providing you with a hotel service. So here around the long corridor, we're back to the old section of the hospital, and I am pretty happy with how I built out the surgical unit. I do need to move this one. this room, I forget what this room was called. This is the, let's see, sonography unit. So you can see I actually mapped out all the rooms that I needed for all the hospitals, and I want this strip to be surgical, and then I want the next strip to be, another department. So they're all kind of similar between all the departments. And the layout is, I first have the on-call room for the doctors and then the nurses. I have a bunch of transport nurses here, and then surgical nurses are in the front. I have also learned that, like these desks, they're kind of useless because they have these drawers that you can't sit another person there. So these reception desks that I guess what you would normally use for are actually perfect for my nurses. I don't need printers or anything like that. So they're very space saving for me to get a lot more people into one small space. So I have my nurses and doctors here. And along this side are my wards. I have high dependency units on this right side, and then regular wards on the left side. And I think I might have too many beds. It's because at one point, like, all these beds were filled up and nobody was leaving. And I'm just like, how long are they gonna stay here? They're just taking my real estate. And like, people kept complaining there are no more beds. It turned out that I was missing one of the radiology machines to do some kind of test. So everybody is just waiting for the test to be done before they leave. And once I got that result, everybody left, and like, it's been kind of empty here in the wards. So I think I might repurpose these into for another department as I open up the wards. But that's how they're shaped. Again, no privacy. Is kind of like, I don't know, military style beds. Yeah, not the best environment, but it's efficient. Across the hallway here, we have one surgical room. I actually quite enjoyed this room, and seeing the surgeries and the blood is actually kind of fun. And here is the sonography room that I will move over to the other side. And on the other side of, I guess, the doctors and nurses is the diagnostic room, where they get diagnosed with their disease. And I put 2 beds in here. Currently, I only really needed the one, but this is to think of the future. I have more than one bed here for patients, so they don't have to wait. Now, currently, so all these empty spaces, I moved them before. These are all the extra furniture that I don't want to resell because they're lowering value. So I'm just thinking maybe it's for my future expansion. I can use these chairs and things. So I'm just placing them in the middle here. On the side, we have the ICU unit. We have 3 beds. I need to remove one because it's blocking one of the beds, making it unusable. So these are the ICU unit, and these are the on-call doctor and nurses for the ICU. It's not very big. It's also not very busy. And then we have the emergency section. So here we have, again, the on-call and nurses rooms for the emergency section. We have observation room here with the trauma center, 2 operating tables right now. And so far it has been working out, so that's good. And on the side, I believe, now I can't even remember what these are. These are more observation rooms because I was running out of space at one time here, so I temporarily put them here. So of course it's not the best layout currently that I have, so that's why I started moving everybody out into the new clinical building so that I can rebuild my emergency section to be more friendly. Look how dirty this is. Oh yeah, and again, we're all hard workers here. We're not about resting, so I have a very tiny common room for everybody on this side. And this is my very original first common room for everybody. And this is my very first original janitor closet, but now I built a lot more. So that is a little tour of my hospital. I think I want to keep building out the hospitalization for the internal medicine department now, because there has been a few cases where internal medicine patients require hospitalization, and I just send them away because I couldn't do it. I think the request has been getting more and more, so I think that I think that's a meaningful next step, a reasonable next step to do. But first, let me move this one room over to where I planned them to be, so then the surgical are actually all on the same side. Okay. So let's do that. So I'll go to my build section. So this is sonogram. So I'll be working on here. I don't have a foundation yet. Let's see. No, surgery. When I was building up this, it was a little bit different than my plan because I shifted everything by one block. So it should be shifted by one block then. 4. Yeah, everything is in 4 or 8 width, and then it's 4 by 5, these rooms. Okay, next I am going to build the foundation. Yeah, and I have to get rid of these walls. Oh, look, I have an extra sink there. Let's move these. Let's move all the extra. These used to be the nurses' tables before I found out a more efficient way for them to use the reception desk. So now I'm going to repurpose them for the on-call room for the internal medicine ward once I open that up. Now let's build some walls. I need to remind myself again, what are these? These are stripes in blue. Go here and here. And split them around here and here. Sweet. And then let's put some flooring to indicate that these are the surgical wards. Perfect. Next, I want to put door. The blue one, and I'll put it here. And then I just need to move some of the stuff. So I'm gonna remove this one. Okay, you don't have a workspace. We will reallocate you. And then I'm just gonna move everything over. Before I haven't really decided how I want the furniture to look, because definitely after I put everything in, I want it to be more uniform in all the sonography rooms, for all the departments. So I'm just gonna play around with it, and I think that's the fun part. Now this stool is being occupied by someone right now. I can't move it, so I'm just gonna go play, let this guy move. Yeah, don't sit there. It's no longer your office. There we go. Okay. Let's go back to furniture. Okay, how do I want my space? Maybe I will put the examination room here. Yeah. Okay, I guess I can't put too close to the wall. I guess here will do. We will need, if you click on the bottom, you can see all the required items with the explanation are all the required items that you need for this room before it's operational. Definitely need a lamp. So here, and then we need shockwave therapy. I think this needs to be at the bottom. Oh, okay, I can't put it here. So I think we need to put this vertically. Yeah. Flip it over. Put this at the end. And put this here. Okay. And then what do I need? I need, what is this? Oh, this is the estograph. Wait, why is my table? I need the estograph and the USG machine connected with the table, okay? There we go. And then pretty sure this is USG that needs to go here. Okay, so I have my exam table all ready. Next, I'm gonna put the biohazardous bin. Let's put it here. Sure. Next, I will need a medical equipment, the office. So it requires a printer, then this table works. People can't share them. So we'll put it here, and we will give them a stool. Next, a sink. Now, let me think. How do I want my sink? So, sonography room. I think radiology department also has a room like this. Sonography unit, yep. And I have this kind of sink for everybody in the radiology. So I think I want to keep it consistent. So rather than using that sink over here, I want to create a new sink with a cabinet. But you know what? Is it better if I just have a disinfectant? Maybe it's just better if I have a disinfectant. There. That solves the problem of needing a sink. And then I'll bring my medical cabinet back here. Okay. Do I have everything I need? I think I do. So this is extra. And this is extra, so we'll just move it to the room for now. And we are good to go. Okay. Next, we need to allocate my beautiful employees back to the sonography room. Who is unallocated? So you can see here the shifts. These are the doctors, nurses. I need the technicians. Here we go. They don't have a shift. So let's move you to, you need to assign an employee. I will assign you to the morning, and I will assign you to night. Do I want to fire you? Nah. Saving $100? That's okay, you did good work. Let's keep you. Let's not fire you. Okay, everybody is good. We have our surgical unit all set up. So I think I'll end the video here. It's getting long. Thanks for following along. Hope you enjoyed it, and see you next time.